My name is Sister Alicia. It's November 23rd, 2023, and this is The Pulse. Indeed, the Eucharist is God's response to the deepest hunger of the human heart, the hunger for authentic life, because in the Eucharist, Christ himself is truly in our midst to nourish, console, and sustain us on our journey. These words were spoken by Pope Francis last June when the National Eucharistic Revival and Congress teams had an audience with him in Rome. Not only did our Holy Father offer tremendous words of encouragement and support for the revival and the deep need for renewal and our love and devotion for our Lord in the Holy Eucharist, but he also blessed the gorgeous 4-foot-tall monstrance that will be used at the National Eucharistic Congress in Indianapolis next July. As we mark this Thanksgiving Day, I am thinking really with deep gratitude about our Thanksgiving prayer brunch that we hosted here on Chicago's West Side for the neighbors that we serve. We started adoration early in the church, and people were adoring our Lord all morning as we were preparing for the beautiful brunch and the turkey dinner giveaway that would follow shortly after. And so as men and women and children were welcomed into the church for the prayer service, we simply shared with them that Jesus was present in a very special way in the church and asked them to be quiet as they came in. When Bishop Lombardo led the prayer service, he offered a simple catechesis on the real presence. And while, of course, not everyone understood or believed the doctrine of the real presence, you could tell that there was a sense of God's presence in the church and people were experiencing it. We are all hungry, just like Pope Francis noted for us, and that deepest hunger can only be satisfied by Jesus. This week, Bishop Betancourt from the Archdiocese of Hartford was able to send me this voice memo from Rome just this morning, and I'm excited to share his beautiful words with you about the experience he had with the Association of Hispanic Priests in their audience with Pope Francis last week on November 16th.
Our experience with the Holy Father that morning, last Thursday, the time was really powerful for all of us. Especially our priests were very happy. Many of them, it was the first time that we'll see Pope Francis in person. And then when he talked about the Eucharistic Revival and how ministry takes its roots in adoration, and then how this ping pong game needs to happen between ministry and the adoration, and not leaving the Blessed Sacrament alone. The priests actually clapped at those words. So they were very excited to hear that. And me personally, as a religious priest, as servant of the Holy Eucharist on the Blessed Virgin Mary, it was a very powerful moment, a great reminder for all of us, especially priests, of our relationship with Jesus in the Eucharist. Always having the idea of giving ourselves to the Lord, present in the Blessed Sacrament through our ministry and through our adoration.
Thank you so much to Bishop Betancourt for sending us that message from Rome. Among the many things Pope Francis shared last Thursday with the priests gathered, he noted the example of St. Manuel Gonzalez Garcia, who is one of the patrons of the National Eucharistic Revival and is known as the Bishop of the Abandoned Tabernacle. Bishop Garcia, now St. Manuel Garcia, had a deep devotion for our Lord's true presence and didn't want him to be alone in the tabernacle and would often visit him. Pope Francis connected the suffering of Jesus with the suffering of our people and how in a real way our Lord suffers with us and wants us to unite our sufferings with him. Pope Francis summed it up for the priests gathered in this way. Do not leave those who suffer alone. Do not leave the Lord of the tabernacle alone. Convince yourselves that you cannot do anything with your hands unless you do it on your knees. This Thanksgiving Day, as we thank God for literally everything, let's take the Holy Father's words to heart. Let's not be afraid to get down upon our knees in the presence of our Lord, who is hidden and loving us so deeply in the Holy Eucharist. On behalf of Bishop Cousins and our National Eucharistic Revival and Congress teams, God bless you, and may this Thanksgiving Day be a moment of deep Eucharistic gratitude for all of us.